back to the channel.
Welcome if you're new, and thank you for coming back if you are not. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing, should you come to Puerto Rico right now? A lot of places are closed, and it seems like a lot of people would like to come to Puerto Rico. The tickets are cheap, and you don't need a passport. But we are going to go over some of the current restrictions that we have in place here, or that the governor has in place here, and let you decide, should you visit right now?
Wanda, our lovely governor, had a conference 2 days ago, back on the 31st, detailing the most up-to-date current restrictions that are here in place in Puerto Rico. So the biggest one, that really affects us quite a bit, is there is a curfew. We do have a curfew from 10 p.m. until 5 a.m. So we're not allowed to leave our houses. We're not allowed to go anywhere. We're just stuck in the house.
If you are caught out, you will most likely get a ticket, a hefty fine.
Hefty. We've heard some as high as $5,000. Like, no kidding. We've seen the tickets. The next one that I think could be a controversial one, to say the least, but masks everywhere. Everywhere you go, you're required to wear a mask, including including social distancing. So minimum 6 feet apart, not being in groups, things of that nature. But masks everywhere. Everywhere you go in.
And it is enforced heavily. They won't let you in. There won't be any exception. They'll take your temperature and sanitize in most places. I've seen some drop the temperature taking, but they will sanitize you and make sure that you have a mask. Most stores, if you go in, will have a guard or a designated person to enforce that. So
exactly. Although some stores are still open and a lot of places are open for business, owners and employees are trying to just do their part. So they're making sure, like she said, they're taking temperatures, they're making sure everybody's hands are sanitized, and also limiting what you can do within their businesses. The next one really does affect us a lot because we go there quite a bit. We enjoy going to the beach, the playa. There's quite a few all over the island.
And with everything else closed, that was pretty much the only thing that we actually did.
Yeah, it was almost a daily ritual for us to go to the beach. But the actual restriction states is Monday through Saturday, you can only go to the beach for individual exercise. So you can't, do any sunbathing. You can't bring chairs, can't bring coolers, you can't bring any articles, with you, just for exercise. And on Sunday, it's completely closed. And we'll get to Sunday in a second. Might as well tell them about Sunday now. So Sunday, which is something new that was just implemented a few days ago, pretty much everything is shut down on Sunday. So the island is pretty much completely shut down on Sunday, except for a few things. Make sure we get it right here. We have our notes here, so make sure we get it right. So except for supermarkets, pharmacies, hardware stores, gas stations, and restaurants. And restaurants is takeout only. So except for the basics.
If you are trying to go to the mall, if you're trying to go to any retail store, you'll find that they're closed on Sundays. And you may see some information saying that they're asking you to stay home all day Sunday. I don't know if
you don't have to stay home.
It's mandatory.
It's not mandatory.
They do suggest that you stay home all day on Sunday and only go out if absolutely necessary.
So during the week, those retail stores are open during the week, are only able to go up to 50% capacity. So there's always someone who's going to be at the door counting people with a clicker or the phone or whatever the case might be, making sure that they stay within a certain amount of people in their stores at all times. One that I think a lot of people
We're surprised.
We're surprised to hear about is that a lot of the common areas are closing. Parks, pools, a lot of amenities that hotels and resorts provide were having to be shut down.
Right, even private pools at the hotels, even if you've made a reservation, they are shut down.
We even had a reservation to go somewhere, and we had to cancel it because the hotel pretty much shut everything all the amenities that they had down. So there's really no point of us going to, and keeping that reservation.
Right. So if you are looking for a pool, your best bet is to get an Airbnb, but 99% of them are sold out.
Yes. So some places that are completely shut down 100% are bars, movie theaters, casinos, theme parks, gyms.
Speaking of bars, there are no alcohol sales after 7 p.m. and Sunday is a dry day, I guess you could call it. Even if the retail or the restaurant location is open, they will not serve alcohol on Sundays.
Exactly. So if you have like a restaurant that serves alcohol, or a grocery store, there's quite a few grocery stores that serve.
Walmarts are actually closed on Sundays.
Closed. So if they sell out any kind of alcohol, it'll be done before 7 and nothing on Sundays. One that kind of put a damper in some of our future plans were we wanted to go to the Vieques and Culebra, which are small little islands just off the coast of Puerto Rico. They're all part of Puerto Rico. In order to get there, you have to fly or you take a ferry. Right now, the ferry is being limited to residents of if you live in Vieques or Culebra. If we're just residents alone, emergency personnel, that's it. So if you're coming from the States at any point in time, you won't be able to go to Vieques or Culebra at any point right now until these restrictions are lifted. Right. So it is putting a damper in some of that, some of those plans that even we had that we're having to reschedule certain things.
Excursion and tour operators are closed. So a lot of people, when they think of Puerto Rico, they think zip lining, horseback riding, kayaking, in the bioluminescent bay, and just doing a lot of excursions, hiking through the rainforest, and a lot of those, all of them are closed right now.
Exactly. I know one of the ones that I wanted to do personally now that we're here, we're moved, there was one that was like an ATV tour. And we had it on our schedule to do it, and unfortunately they're closed now. And so it kind of puts a difference on those plans. For people that are coming and want to do those, what we call touristy stuff, the tours and go see the attractions and be guided, so to speak.
Right. See certain caves and certain hikes you can only do with a tour guide. So
unfortunately they are closed now. One place that was open still was El Yunque, so the rainforest. It was open on a reservation basis. You would go online and make a reservation for a day and a time block that you would want to arrive. And that was great. Unfortunately, due to the tropical storm that came by last week, they are closed now until further notice. We don't know when they'll open up again.
And it was limited, hiking trails available in the rainforest. I know the big trail that a lot of people do come to see with the big waterfall is closed until 2021. So
they were already limited anyway, but now you can't go at all. Should you really come to Puerto Rico right now? That's an opinionated question.
Mm-hmm.
It really depends on why you're coming, whether it's work or it's a family related or if it's just a vacation. We understand that tickets are cheap right now. You have to really put that in perspective of you and your health, your family, what you're coming to do, who
you
you're
have
going to
to
be around.
weigh your pros and your cons.
Exactly. We're not going to tell you what to do. We're just giving you all the information. One of the biggest key changes that has come about is actually traveling here. So some
Entering the airport.
restrictions, and actually entering the airport and being able to leave the airport. Before, so I arrived in May, the beginning of May, and when I was still in the midst of all this pandemic, but at the airport, just they took my name, what area I was going to be staying in, and that was it. That kept going on. It's more of just my contact information. But now it's gotten a lot more stricter because Puerto Rico has seen a spike in cases.
And unfortunately, the airport is a door for a lot of those naturally.
It is the door. We can't shut it down, even though one has tried to a couple times. Can't shut the airport down. We're not going to. They can't stop people from coming to the island. But there are some requirements you all will need to adhere to 100%. There's no way around it. So non-negotiable. So the biggest thing is you have to provide proof that you are negative, that you have a negative test of the coronavirus, and it's a molecular test, so the nasal swab.
The antibody test will not be accepted.
Yes, the antibody test is not accepted. It has to be within 72 hours of your arrival. I've heard different variations of when you're complete. There is a travel declaration form that you complete. I've heard some people say they completed it on the plane. Some people completed it when they arrived to the airport. So I'm not really sure. I guess maybe it depends on the airline if they provide that information to you or not. But either way, you will have to fill out a travel declaration. It can be done online. In the I guess the description below will have a link to where you can find all of the paperwork, the travel declaration. There'll also be a site locator for a nationwide site locator so you can find where to take these tests in your area. And we'll also have a list of all of the restrictions that we went over earlier. Let's say you come to the island and you don't have that test within 72 hours. What happens? So obviously they take all your information and you are forced to self-quarantine at your expense. Keyword, your expense. So for 14 days or the duration of your trip, whichever is shorter. So if you're going to be here for a week, let's say you're on vacation, which a week is a normal time. If you don't have that documentation, you will be forced to quarantine at your expense during your whole trip. So it really is no point of getting on that flight if you don't have it without having that test in your hand. And it's for and also children, I think about 2 years old or something like that, have to test as well. So children are not excluded. They can carry germs just like adults can. They're not excluded from the test. So children from 2 years and up do have to come with negative tests as well. Again, it's to make sure that the people that are coming into the island are healthy and not going
so safely.
Yeah, and they're being safe and cautious. Just like the people here on the island are doing the same thing. We're doing our part to make sure that we are safe and we're cautious and we're clean, making sure we're sanitized at all times. We want those same people who are coming to the island to do the same.
Especially to a place where the health system is fragile.
Everything's fragile here, but that's on another video. As you're planning your trip to come here, if you're thinking about coming to Puerto Rico, take into account what you would want to do on a normal basis. Let's say everything was normal. There were no restrictions. There was no pandemic going on. What would you want to do?
Go to the beach, hang out, go hiking.
Go to the pool.
A lot of those things, unfortunately, right now we can't do. So just because you are going on a vacation, are you prepared to go on vacation to sit in a hotel or to get takeout or to just stroll around? Is it worth it for you?
Is it worth spending the money? It may be cheap, but it's not free. So you're going to spend money here. So is it worth doing it now? We want people to come. We want people to enjoy themselves, but at the same time, we want you to have a good experience. And with everything going on right now, will you have a good experience? Will this make you want to come back to the island?
Right.
Maybe, maybe not. It's up to us. You know, it's really up to you to decide.
It's a personal preference.
Now, I know some people who have paid for stuff well in advance before things got even as crazy, and unfortunately are not able to rearrange, and then they're not going to cancel because they don't want to lose money, which it's not what we're asking. You know, so if you're still coming, there's plenty of things to do. Don't get me wrong. There's plenty of.
You have to be creative.
Yes, exactly. That's the word I'm looking for. You have to be creative what you're going to do, especially if you're coming with children, or if this is your first time here. There's plenty of historical sites to go to. There's plenty of outdoor places that you can visit.
But just like you're trying to be safe on the plane and safe to enter, you want to be safe wherever you go. So you don't want to come here on vacation and do all those things, jump through all those hoops just to get sick. So
exactly. Now, one thing here, we're not hurting for supplies. I know there was a time
toilet
paper and there's everything. There's wipes. There's you can find sanitizer anywhere. Masks. Everyone sells masks.
Everyone. Even in the middle of the street.
In the middle of the street, the abuelita is walking down with a little stick full of masks. You know, ready to go. All different cartoon characters for the kids and all colors and sizes and whatnot.
With the face shield included.
Oh yeah. Oh, plenty of face shields. You definitely see the face shield. So. Sanitizer galore. So if you are here, you will find everything that you need to be sanitary and clean and everything.
I don't think it was
never a problem here. At least since we arrived in May, we've never had an issue. But I know the week before I flew in, I stopped, to visit, my folks, and they were running around the city finding toilet paper because they just couldn't find any.
Even when. From the beginning of the pandemic until we left in, late May, almost June, there was no toilet paper in sight in Maryland. None. No hand sanitizer. Forget about hand soap.
Yeah, exactly.
There was nothing.
So, look, we want to leave you with this. If you're going to come to Puerto Rico, just be prepared. Understand what exactly you think that you're going to need, paperwork-wise, test-wise, and all the restrictions that are going on right now. And if you do arrive, come on, have a good time, enjoy yourself. We want you to enjoy yourself. We want you guys to experience this lovely island that we've moved to for great reasons. But also be prepared and be creative with your plans here. Okay. One last thing. So for people that are doing Airbnbs, make sure you are talking with the owners. A lot of owners are canceling Airbnb or VRBO or whatever. They're canceling reservations because of obviously quarantine. So they don't want people coming from the mainland to stay in their homes for 2-3 days and then leave, and the owner's not knowing. Even if they came with a negative test, what might happen.
Right.
So just keep that in mind. Make sure you communicate with them.
And a lot of the Airbnbs do have, like we said earlier, because the pools are closed, a lot of Airbnbs have shared pools, especially like the villas and the duplexes and things like that. So if it's a shared pool, most likely it will be closed. Even if you're the only reservation there, you might want to double check that as well.
Exactly. So double check the reservations and make sure you guys are understanding exactly what's going on. Mm-hmm. Guys, well, this is it. We will see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. If you guys have any questions, any comments, leave them below. We do read them. We answer pretty much everybody. Everybody. We really do appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to watch this.
We do. We can't believe that we have 50 subscribers already. That
50.
Is insane.
All right. Next milestone is 100. So make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button. See you guys next time.